Hey everybody, Shane here, Shoebox Legends. Thanks for tuning in for a quick episode today. Just a couple of things on the agenda. I want to thank two fine individuals who sent me some very gracious care packages. And then I want to look at two new pickups that I've made for my own collection, including what is arguably my most desired modern card for years now. Was finally able to secure one. I am very excited about this card, and that'll be at the end of today's video, the reveal. But before we get to that, let's get to these care packages. And this first one, I am really embarrassed, quite frankly, with how long it took me to get this up on the channel. I've just been a little bit overwhelmed lately with the hobby and lack of free time, but that's not a good excuse for this wonderful care package sitting for so long. This came in late winter from my friend Zach Porter, not to be confused with the channel Zach and Porter, which I know many of you know, but Zach and I had been in contact last year, exchanged some emails about my collecting of the Negro Leagues, and he sent me this towards the end of the winter, early spring, and it was a package that included a great handwritten or typed up note, but a great personal note about his love of collecting and the Negro League guys, and he said some very kind words about the channel as well, and he included the two cards that you see up in the background there, that wonderful shiny Josh Gibson and that great Mike Piazza Josh Gibson combo card, as well as this entire stack here. Now, these are going to be prime candidates for the budding Negro Leagues Z Folio album that I've been working on. So we've got a Buck Leonard. These are just perfect. And again, my sincere apologies for how long it took me to get this up on the channel, Zach. It is not a reflection of my level of appreciation for you taking the time to send me these. This one here is perfect. We got a Satchel Paige, I think from the Ken Burns baseball set that I just received a little group of from my buddy Kin in a recent episode. So this will go right into the binder in that section. Almost all of these are certain to make the Negro League Z Folio. Check out this Satchel Paige Finest Flamethrowers insert. That is so cool. This one I'm not familiar with. Baseball Wit. Another Page card here. This looks like some type of a Broder card or something along those lines. This one I instantly recognize, and I apologize for the glare there. This is from the 1991 Topps Archives reprint release, which is really responsible for my love of vintage cards and of 1953 Topps in particular. And this card I love so much that I ranked it my #1 favorite card in my entire collection during my last Top 100 Cards countdown. Here's a cool Chromium John Henry Pop Lloyd. Second time I've talked about him recently. Here's a Pinnacle Cool Papa Bell for the Homestead Grays. How cool is that? I've talked many times here on the channel about what a great job Panini is doing with including some of these players in modern products. Here's a cool Papa Bell, back to back there. Topps Chrome in that case. Here's a Gallery Jackie Robinson. Great illustrated photo there. There's another Jackie, this one I think also from the Ken Burns Baseball, the American Epic set in 1994. Here's a Denny's hologram card featuring Robinson evading a tag at home. Love that one, kind of a 3D effect there. This I believe was an insert here or a sweepstakes card in 1989 Bowman, but it's of course a larger size throwback to the 1950 Bowman Jackie, which to me is a top 10 card that I've never owned but would love to own, certainly on the vintage front. We got a Nestle Jackie Robinson here. That's pretty awesome. Another Jackie. I mean, these are just so cool. This is a Panini Diamond Kings. Here's a Storybook Endings Jackie. Panini Cooperstown. A whole Robinson run here. I love this one from 2014 Stadium Club. I've collected a couple different versions of this, but a wonderful photograph there. And again, so many of these will find a home in my Negro Leagues album, so thank you, Zach. Here's a Babe Ruth from Diamond Kings, Bob Shockey, and Honus Wagner to round it out. Now, that would be cool enough if it was just the personalized note and the cards, but Zach also included a book that I had never heard of, and I'm going to have a hard time fitting it in frame here, but check this out. This is the comic book story of baseball. So this is like an illustrated graphic novel about the history of the game of baseball. And what's really touching, Zach mentioned in his note, he's been reading this or had been reading this to his young son during his bath time or at bedtime. And when they finished it recently, he decided he wanted to pass it on to another collector that he thought would enjoy it. And he thought of me. So Zach, Everything about this gift was so incredibly touching. The cards, the note, the book, of course, and the fact that you took the time to send this all to me and find items that are such a home run and a fit for the way that I enjoy this hobby. It just means so much. And again, I am endlessly sorry that it took me months to get that up on the channel, and I really do appreciate it. Next up, I have one here that came from somebody I met via kind of in a roundabout way, but he's watched my channel before, and he bought a card from me on eBay recently. So here's his note, which is a little quicker. So I'll read this one. Hey Shane, hope all is well. I really like watching your videos and have learned a lot. A lot has changed in the hobby since I recently got back into it after a while. I know you are condensing your collection, but I still wanted to send you a couple cards. I'm hoping there's a couple you might enjoy. Thanks and keep up the good work. Mike, P.S. I love the Kershaw I got from you. So yes, if memory serves, as many of you know, I've been selling a lot of my cards on eBay just to reduce the overall size of my collection. And he purchased a Clayton Kershaw Allen and Ginter rookie card graded. And I think if I recall, Mike got a pretty good deal on that. I think he got that at a very solid price. So Mike, happy to see that end up in your collection. You didn't have to, but I certainly appreciate you sending me these cards. Let's take a quick look, starting with a Foodland issue of Tom Barrasso, goaltender for the Pittsburgh Penguins during their kind of powerhouse era. And on the back of that, we've got a Paul Coffey in the same case. So I love those Penguins teams that were kind of that dynasty in the early 90s of hockey. So these are perfect. And it looks like we have a few more Penguins cards here. These are from a Foodland release as well. And they're paying tribute to the 91 Stanley Cup Championship team. So there's Barrasso again, Brian Trottier, who's a Hall of Famer, Joe Mullen, who's a Hall of Famer, Ron Francis, who's a Hall of Famer, and Larry Murphy, who's a Hall of Famer. I mean, that team was so stacked. And that doesn't even include Jaromir Jagr and Mario Lemieux, probably the two best players on the squad during that dynasty. These are so cool. I've never seen these cards before. I love the Ron Francis in particular, player that I really enjoy on the hockey front. So Mike, these are home runs, and I will certainly keep these Penguins cards. We got a Star Wars card here, Toward the Desert Palace from Return of the Jedi, I think. They're heading towards Jabba's palace there. And then how about a Clark Bunn Mario Lemieux? And on the back, another Clark Bunn Mario Lemieux. These look like they were maybe hand cut from a food product, which is really, really cool. Had not seen these or the Foodland cards before. So Mike, those are much appreciated and right on target for the way that I enjoy collecting. And then I also have this little team set bag that has a Whalers Pro Set card. I love these team cards. I actually have the buyback version of this numbered to 5. Got Ron Francis from the inaugural Upper Deck release. Another Ron Francis from 90 Bowman. My first ever love, 89-90 Topps and O-Pee-Chee. The first cards of any sport that I ever opened in packs back in the winter of 1989. And I love that Francis card, know he's will. Got a whole bunch of Ronnie franchise here. So awesome. These take me right back to my childhood. It's an O-Pee-Chee Mini. There's the great 90-91 Pro Set. I have not been able to find this one in buyback format. And if I ever do, it will make my hobby year. And then we got the All-Star Ron Francis as well. The team scoring leaders insert. And then this, which is great. I used to stick these pucks, these stickers on my hockey helmet. So anytime I scored a goal in youth hockey, I would peel one of these stickers from my hoard of these that I had from opening 89-90 packs, and I would affix it to the side or back of my hockey helmet, playing as a youth hockey player growing up. So a lot of great memories around this one. And believe it or not, just because of that, this is one of my favorite cards in the package. So Mike, I'm glad you enjoyed the Kershaw. And while you certainly didn't have to, I appreciate you taking the time to send me these wonderful cards. So huge thanks to both of those individuals, Mike and Zach. And now to conclude the video, I want to take a look at 2 pickups that I've made recently. First one is just the latest in an ongoing project that I've really been hammering on recently. Some of you may be even tired of hearing it or seeing these, but I scored another 1990 Topps autograph on card from the Archive Signature Series release. Got this Fred McGriff from the 2020 set, as you can see, based on the stamp here, numbered to 44. And he did a great job signing this in one of the lighter areas on the card. You know, had he gone down here with the signature, you know, across his stomach or over here on the side, it really, the blue ink may have been hidden a little bit more with that background, but this one looks fantastic. I think it is my first ever autograph that I've ever owned of the Crime Dog And those of you who know me know how much I love this set. Right after I got started with that hockey release over the winter, I started hitting 1990 Topps baseball that spring. And that was really my catalyst in the baseball side of the hobby. And I've always loved that set ever since, just because of that. I kind of super collect it, and happy to add Fred McGriff to that growing autograph collection. And then to conclude the video, we're going to take a look at a really big modern card. I've talked about this card before. I've been chasing it for years now, probably 2 to 3 years, maybe longer. It's not an impossible card being numbered to 76, but it is difficult. From the first year of Topps Independence Day as a parallel, I finally scored the Mookie Betts, Marcus Lynn Betts. It's been said many times by myself and others, but the first year of Independence Day here in 2018 has never been matched or topped since. But I love that the parallel itself, while it changes every year, has existed now for many years in a row. It doesn't look like it's going anywhere anytime soon. It is really well loved among collectors. And in the last couple of years, Fanatics has done a great job getting the design back to closer to something like this that really stuns and impresses collectors. But again, the 2018 are the cream of the crop. And making this even more difficult, 2018 is the greatest year of Mookie Betts' career. And I kind of, not super collect, but I do try to collect as many versions of this card as I can kind of reasonably get my hands on. And this was kind of the one big hole that I've had in that collection. And the reason being, Mookie won a batting title in 2018. He won an MVP in 2018, and he brought what was, or at least at this point, is the latest World Series to the town of Boston, being instrumental in their postseason run. So World Series, batting title, and MVP all in the same season. I think it is his career high for WAR in any campaign as well. And this has been a piece that has been felt like it's kind of missing from my modern collection for a long time now. I do have the Topps Black of this. I have a printing plate even. I've got the Topps Chrome Gold Refractor, numbered to 50. And the one thing that was kind of haunting me that I've been dying to get added to the collection is this card right here. Finally was able to acquire this one, copy 51 of 76, as you can see on the back. And arguably my greatest 2018 Independence Day in my small collection of these that I have as a parallel, and instantly one of my best and favorite Mookie Betts cards. So Mookie having a little bit of a down year by his standards. So I think his prices are kind of reflecting that right now, but he's someone who I've enjoyed collecting for a long time. So I'm really glad that card surfaced at a time when his prices are down a little bit, which helped to keep it kind of within my range. So huge Mookie Betts to cap off the video. Thank you again to Mike and Zach for the wonderful cards. And thank you to all of you who made it through 13 plus minutes here. I'll be back soon, as you know. And in the meantime, just keep enjoying the hobby. Take care.